Hello everyone, my name is Ana Coronado, and today I'm going to talk about my book. I choose The Great Gatsby because I think it's really good book, and that book was basically one novel that was really famous in the modernism time, and the author is Francis Scott Kate Fitzgerald. So now I'm going to talk about a little bit the author before explain our sum about the book. Perfect. Francis Scott K. Fitzgerald was born in September 24 in 1826, and he died in December 21, 1940. He was an American novelistic and essayistic and short story writer and screenwriter. He was the best known for his novel and depising the flamboyance and excess of the jazz age, a term he popularized. During his life, he publishes 4 novels, and the collection he wrote 164 a short history. In the 4 novel, he wrote The Great Gatsby, of course. So now that you know who was Fitzgerald, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the book. Okay. So our resume is basically the book is about a man who is in love, who is falling in love with a woman who is married in that moment, and in the past they there was a relationship with each other, but he left her because he doesn't have any money and he need to assist. He came to the first war, but she was waiting for him, but he never come. And then she got married with a millionaire man. The name is Tom Buchanan. And now the name of the girl is Daisy, and Daisy is living in the Long Island in front of the Gatsby's house. They was divided just for a river, and Gatsby in that moment was of course millionaire, and important point or important main character of the novel is Nick Carraway, who is the narrator of the history. He was the neighbor of the Gatsby, and he also was Daisy's cousin. And also, that's all. Like they Gatsby was making a lot of parties every weekend, extravagant parties, but he made parties because he wanted that Daisy come to him house, but she never can. And then Nick Carraway received an invitation from Gatsby, and he assists to the party. But and then in that moment, he convinced him to invite Daisy to his house to take a tea, but Nick Carraway was a little bit. He said, "I don't know if I need to do that," but then he said yes, and Daisy comes to the Nick Carraway house, and in that moment they meet each other. Like Daisy saw um, Gatsby, who was 5 years that she doesn't see him, and then they start a relationship, Daisy and Gashpit. um, Basically Daisy was the lover of Gashpit in that moment because she was married with Tom. She was still married with Tom, sure. And then Tom was cheating on her, of course, of the beginning of the history, with a girl. The name of the girl is Marilyn, I think so. Let me see. Okay, yeah, it's Marilyn Wilson, who is the wife of the George Wilson, who is a mechanic, and one day, Gatsby convinced to he tried to convince Daisy to talk to Don and say that she doesn't fall in love with him in any moment, and she in the beginning she was like, oh, I don't want to, but then she was ready, and they meet each other's Nate Carway, Daisy, Tom, and also Gashpit, of course. And I forgot to say that Daisy was a friend, a really important friend, who the name was Jordan. Yeah, Jordan Baker, who was the girlfriend, the Nick Carraway's girlfriend, Nick Carraway's girlfriend, sorry. And she was in the meeting, and the point of the meeting was that Daisy told Tom that she never loved him, but she couldn't tell him that because she still loved him, and she Daisy told Gashpit that she couldn't say that, and he was pain, like, so angry with her because she didn't say what she promised to say, and she said that she when Gashpit and Daisy was talking, Daisy said that Gashpit wants too much from her, and then they decided to leave the hotel, and Daisy was driving the Gashpit car, and she killed the Tom lover, who the name is Marlene. She killed Marlene, but they didn't stop. They still driving, and when they was in the Daisy's house, Gashford was outside waiting for Daisy, but he was like, uh, he was ready to get the all fault of the accident, but in that moment when Carway and Jordan and Tom was in the car, they was driving to the Tom house. They saw the accident, and they stop and they say Thomas or Tom taking count that his lover was died, and he talked to the Marlene husband. The name was Wilson, no, was John, sorry. He talked with John and say that was cash pit, and like he say that that was the cash pit card, and he said specifically somebody need to do something about that. And in the morning, on the second day to the tragedy, uh, George take a gun and come to the Gashpit house, and Gashpit was in the pool waiting for the Daisy call, but Daisy was to get ready to leave the city with her husband Tom and with her daughter, and but of course Gashpit was waiting for her, and George killed Gashpit. He shot him in the back and he died in the pool, and then he killed himself. And then Daisy move on. She left the city. She was so bad person, honestly. And Caraway was the only friend that Gashpit was like the real friend that the real friend that Gashpit had, because in the funeral he was the only person that was in the house. No more. They Caraway move on and left the city to another city and write the history.